Okay. Now we talk about income summary. Okay. this is the money part. Income summary. Okay. So remember we talk about the daily attendance. We talk about the overtime. We have talked about the paid time off. Now the last one is the income summary. So this is like the time you record and say, company, hey, Jollof, this is what you are supposed to pay me. And Jollof will pay you that. It's like you are writing a receipt to the company about what the company should be paying you. And then you indicate it here. Located at the bottom of the attendance form, the income summary is the area where you fill in your estimated income and deductions in order to arrive at the net salary take home. Okay, it has three subtables: the income, the deduction, and the net salary. The income part is here, the deduction part is here, and the net salary part is here. Okay, so income, let's talk about income table. Okay, these payments including fixed salary. Okay, fixed salary means your basic salary plus allowance, overtime, commissions, and bonuses you receive. These are all monetary payments that you receive. Sorry, these are the income aid. This is income. This refers to payments including your fixed salary, that is basic salary and allowance, overtime, commissions, and other bonuses you receive. Okay, the total overtime should be derived from the totals of the overtime section. Remember, the total overtime here, what you record here is the total here. Sorry, supposed to be in the attendance form. Okay, the total overtime here is supposed to be the total amount of overtime you receive here. All right, and also what is it talking about at this point? The total overtime should be derived from totals of the overtime sections. Like here, for example, if you record an overtime here of, let's say, 300, you should be putting here 300 total overtime 300. Okay, if you are paid for 200, you should indicate here. We'll talk about that later. 200 overtime paid. Okay, overtime 200. Okay, the reason here is because, like here, amount due, the total amounts of overtime received and overtime paid. This is what you put here. Okay, this is just for reference. Let me remove it. Let me remove this. Yeah. Okay, so talking about this line, the blank space is reserved for additional income or including commissions and bonuses. Remember, these are the things that you receive probably every month. These are the popular type of incomes you receive. Okay, basic salary. This one you receive it every year. Like that one is fixed. Sorry, every month. Allowance, you receive it every month. That's why they call it fixed salary. Those one, no matter what happens, you will receive those things, your basic and allowance. All right. Overtime, this is the amount of total overtime you make during that month. So if you have the blank spaces, if you are given commission, you put here commission and the amount of money you got through commission. If you are given bonus, you put here bonus anywhere. So these places are left for additional income that you receive. All right. Less absence, okay, deductions due to absence. Remember your abnormal absence. This is where normally income here is supposed to be all the amount of money you make, and all deductions have to be here. The reason why we put it here, let me tell you. Okay, less deductions. So 3.3% of your fixed salary is deducted or charged each day of normal absence. 3.3 means 1 over 30. All right, so that means that your whole salary is like, if your whole salary is $100 is a day, that means that it's 1 over 100 over 30 is divided for 30 days. That's what caused this 3.33%. All right, so every day you are absent, 3.33% of your fixed salary you see is absent. So although all deductions are supposed to be in the deduction size, less absence here reduces your gross salary, and hence you pay your PAYE tax liability. It reduces your PAYE tax liability. Why? Because your tax is based on your gross salary. So if all this if you are deducted after you pay your tax, that means that you'll receive less money. So this is for the benefit of the employee. That's why it is put here. Okay. So it will reduce your gross salary so that you will not have to pay tax. Because if it was put here, you will be paying this after you pay your salary. Remember, your tax will be based on your gross salary. The bigger your gross salary, the more tax you pay. Remember, after paying all this tax and then adding it back here, you will pay more money. All right. So that's why it is put here. The reason also why it is put, because it is legally permissible, because you did not earn this. Remember, this is the money you earn. So if you don't come to work, that means that you did not earn that money. That means that you work. Let's say if you are supposed to work 30 days and you are absent for 2 days, that means that you only work for how much? You only work for 28 days. So this is based on the amount of days you come to work. All right. So this is the income part. So the gross salary, this is the sum of all the income you earn at Jollof events on a particular month minus absence deductions. Okay. All the money you make at Jollof events, you put it here, whether it's overtime, whether it's fixed salary, whether it's commission, that is the gross salary. The gross, that's why they call it gross. In French, it means big, it's the big salary that you. So normally, when you receive your gross salary, you should be given that, but wait a minute, they have to be deducted. So let's talk about deductions here. Deductions, the amount of money subtracted from your gross salary. This includes PAYE tax, social security contributions, and advance payments. Okay. What are advance payments? Remember, this is the money given to you before the end of the month, and mostly it's supposed to be overtime. Okay. Advance payment refers to the payment you receive before the end of the month. Okay, e.g., paid overtime. All right. You can only receive advance payment on overtime and not on other income such as fixed salary, unless on extreme situations. I don't know what even extreme here means, but it's almost impossible for you to tell the company, give me like, certain, you might have certain emergency situation and, you come to the company, please give me this thing and deduct it from my, no, the company does not do that. Probably you should go to your shop, neighborhood shop, and tell them to borrow you and come. The company will give you a reference letter that you will receive salary at the end of the month to help you. But the company does not give you like money. Your salary end of month, like on other types of payments. Okay. So deductions. So when the company, like, this is a form of advance payment, overtime paid. All right. So that's why I say you can only receive advance payment on overtime. All right. Net salary. Okay. This is also known as take-home salary. This is what you receive. This is what you finally receive after all subtractions have been done from your gross salary. All right. This is what you receive. That's why it is called take-home salary. All right. This is what is sent to your bank account at the end of the month. All right. You are required to indicate your name, signature, and date upon completing the income summary. That is here, your name and your income and everything. Okay. So let's give examples about this part here. All right. So okay. So basic salary. Okay. At Jollof events, all our basic salary is normally 5,000. Just to keep it simple. Okay. Basic salary. Okay, my allowance. Allowance here refers to travel allowance, feeding allowance, rent allowance. So actually, when we bundle it all together, we just call it allowance. All right. So and also allowance is the place where people's salary differs. If you see someone's gross salary at Jollof being 10,000, it means their allowance is 5,000. If their salary is 25,000, that means that their allowance is 20,000, because normally all of us has a basic salary pegged together. Like for me personally, my allowance is 20,000. Okay, my allowance is 20,000. This is my allowance. So as a result, my fixed salary is how much? Is $25,000. Why do I receive 20,000? I know you say this is huge, man. Other people are receiving $1,000. For me, first of all, I am the CEO. Okay, and secondly, I don't receive overtime payments, but I work almost like 24/7. All right. So I'm either working or I'm thinking about work. Okay. Because which time am I shooting this video right now? I'm shooting it at 4 a.m. in the morning. Okay. And I've been up since God knows when. I'm working. Okay. On public holidays, I work. I don't have public holiday leave. Okay. So there are a lot of reasons why I have $20,000 as my allowance. Okay. All right. So overtime, let's assume for the purpose of this example, I receive overtime. This is just a purpose of for the example, okay? And let's take reference from the examples on the overtime we gave earlier. All right. Let's say here, my total overtime is how much? My total overtime is 700. Why? Because 500 here plus 200 is 700. So my total overtime is 700. So this is the 700. I will put here 700. Okay. Let me write it down. Well, 700. Okay. So all right. So this is the total overtime that the company owes me. All right. So this is 700. Okay. Remember, I was absent for 2 days and minus two. So what is minus two of my salary, of my fixed salary? Remember, 25,000. Now let's use the calculator and let's do 25,000. Okay. 1 day of my salary is how much? 1 day of my salary is like, let's say, divided by 30. That's 833. So that means that at Jollof events, I'm paid every day $833 every day. So that means that I did not come for 2 days. So that means that if you multiply it by 2, it's supposed to be 16, like. So that means that to the nearest, means that 2 days, 2 days will be how much? 2 days. Okay, so that means that 1,666, like, let's assume that 1,000. So it's not assuming 1,666. Okay, 1,666. This is the amount I paid, $1,666. This is what is removed from my salary. Why? Because I did not earn those days. So now let's calculate what my gross salary will be. So we will have this. Okay, let me refresh this. So we'll have 5,000 plus 20,000 plus 700. Okay, minus 1,666. All right, this will give me $24,034. 24,000, 24, $24,034. Okay, so this is my gross salary. All right, so I have my gross salary now. The company should be giving to me this money and say, thank you, Mukhtar Jallo. Yup, this is what you earned for the month of July. However, it doesn't work like that. Somebody needs to take their cut. Like the government is waiting for you. Ooh, we need to fund the police, man. We need to build a hospital. We need to build roads. Where are we going to get that money? Do you expect us to print that money? Huh? So the tax man is waiting for us. So according to the taxman, pay as you earn, PAYE. How much salary, how much from my salary, gross salary should I pay as PAYE? All right, let's see. So at Jollof Events, we are provided with the GRA PAYE list. So you are supposed to look at it. So every type of salary, it will correspond to the nearest $5. All right. So here to the nearest $5 is probably 35. All right. I will assume that it is 35 or 30, whatever. But it has to be 35 to the nearest one. So 24,000 and 35. So I will look at the PAYE list is probably is always given to all. So in this form, how you look at this is your salary, your gross salary is here monthly. If your gross salary is 3,000, you don't pay anything. You don't pay tax. The tax starts from people whose gross salary is 305. The reason why here is zero, probably it is using to the nearest whole number. And this was 0 point blah blah whatever. So you start paying tax at 0.5 or 0.10. Sorry, 3.10. If you make $3, if you make $3,010 as your gross salary, you pay $1 as your tax. Okay, if you make 5,000 as your gross salary here, let's assume your gross salary is 5,000. Let's assume your gross salary is 5,000. Okay, your salary is gross salary is 5,000. Here, 5,000. If your gross salary is 5,000, you pay $175 as tax. Okay. You know, the government, they tax you. The more you make, the more they tax you. All right. That's why they call it pay as you earn. So now let's move to 24,000 bracket. Oops, 26,000. and 34. 24,000 and 34. All right, let's go to the list. 24,000 and 34. Okay, 24,000 and 34. 24,000 and 35. Let's assume it's here. So this is the tax I am supposed to pay. 4,000. Can you imagine? I'm supposed to pay 4,000 from my salary as tax. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. But I have no choice, man. 4,842. This is what is removed from my salary and it is going to the government straight away. All right. Normally what happens is every person should be taken away, should be going to the government and filing their taxes and pay. But the government knows that, hey, people are not going to do that. Like for me, you don't expect me to go to GRA and say, hey, GRA, my salary last month was 24,000. Here is your 4,000. I will not do that. I will have all the excuses. Like most people here will not complain. So what GRA does, and like every country, what they do is they will take the liability and put it to the employer. I say, hey, deduct this from this person's salary and give it to us. If you don't do that, the company, you will pay for this thing. All right. So you normally, in every person earning any amount of money should be paying tax. Even if you receive gift, you should. I think there's what we call gift tax. Any amount of money you receive as a person, whether it is salary, whether it's somebody giving it to you, however, for free, whether you win a lottery ticket, you should pay tax. So you should give a share to the government, and salary is part of it. So we don't have a choice. Okay, and we are a formal company. We don't hide anything from anybody. So if what you make, you pay your tax. Again, social security, you pay 5% of your basic salary on social security. Okay, and the company will match it with 10% of the basic salary. So if you look at this, it's like if our basic salary is 5,000. Okay, so 250 of 5% of 5,000 is 250. Okay, 5% of 5,000 is 250. So what will happen is this will be removed from your salary and sent to your social security. Social security is like a bank account, just like GT Bank and others. But the problem with social security is you cannot withdraw your money anytime you want. If you have a GT Bank account, you can go to GT Bank and say, hey, give me my money. It's called demand deposit. But here at Social Security, you don't go and just say, give me my money. They will say, hey, are you 65 years yet? You say, no. They say, go away. Because it's when you retire, it's when they will give you all the money you make, you save there. Or certain emergency, probably you are out of job for a long time, or probably you have a very serious illness. You go and read the social security law, you'll find all the things there, but your money will be there and you will save it. And then for me, I don't like this personally because inflation, like if I save there, like if I have there 250,000 today, right? And let's assume, what will 250,000 be worth in 10 years time? It will be probably what, $25,000 or even less. And inflation will be eating away my money, and they pay interest, but I don't think that is significant enough to cover the inflation. All right. So if you pay 250 from your salary, from your basic salary, the company is going to add there another 500 to make it 750. So that means that every month 750 will be saved in your social security account for when you retire or when you have certain type of problem. I think even for ladies, if you are married and your husband says you are not going to work, I will not allow you. Stay home and cook. You can go to social security and tell, hey, my husband says I should not work now. Give me my money, and they will give you your money plus the interest plus anything that you want. All right. So overtime paid here, overtime paid. Also, to make a point here, some people, their basic salary will be like 2,000. Sorry, 3,000. So it depends on your basic salary. So here, if your basic salary is, let's say, 4,000, that means that here is supposed to be 200, and the company will pay 10% of 4,400, so making it all 600. So here it fluctuates, but most of the time in the company at Jollof event, most of our basic salaries are 5,000. Then the allowance will determine how much you make, how much your gross salary will be. So again here, overtime pay. Remember, I requested for them to pay me $100. Total overtime here is supposed to be how much? 100. Okay, so I add it here. It's already paid to me. So If it's paid to me, it will be deducted here. Remember, sometimes people get overtime like 3,000, like, this is just an example. So, and I advise you not to be like abusing your overtime, just wait until at the end of the month so that you can enjoy it. Because if you take your money now, you eat it. So, because if you don't take any overtime as advance payment here, it will not be deducted from your salary. So at the end, you will have more take home. So that's why you should not take your overtime until at the end of the month. All right. And some people think that if I take all my overtime, it will not be taxed. No, it will be taxed. It will reflect here, and it will increase your gross salary, and your PAYE will be more. All right. So that's it. So now, how much is my total deduction? My total deduction is the addition of these things. Let me use the calculator and now calculate 4842 plus 250 plus 100 equal, what am I doing? 48,000, no, no. Let me do it again. 4842 plus 250 plus 100. This is 5,192. Oh, huge deduction. 5,000. Damn it. 192. 5,000. Man, I'm supposed to click here, man. 5,192. 5,192. Man, this is crazy, man. Imagine making this thing and all this have to be deducted from my 24,000. So what will I end up with? All right. What will I end up with? So let's do the math again. Let's do the math again. So 24,000 and $34 is minus 5,192 equal 18,000 18,842. 18,842. This is what's going to be sent to my bank account. Okay, this is what is going to be sent to my bank account. 18,842. Imagine my salary, my normal salary is like $25,000. Come on, why at the end of the month am I receiving like 18,000? Man, this is not fair, man. But in life, nothing is fair in life, man. That's how it is. So, and the company really struggles because most people all they think about is the take home. Like, man, I need to take, if my salary is 10,000, I need to take home 10,000. Man, I don't care what happens with deduction, whatever tax company you rely on. But that's why most of our salaries are high. Most companies in the Gambia, they don't pay employees much because they don't pay tax. But general events, we have to pay people more salary so that their take home will at least be significant. Okay, imagine my salary. Imagine if I wanted my take home to be 25, to be exactly 25,000, then my salary will have to be around 30,000, like, and so on, so that I can realize 25,000 as take home. But this is something that is normal. All formal institutions go through this headache, and it's a problem. But at some point we need to pay our taxes. I mean, who will fund the government? Who will fund the police? Who will like fund the hospitals? The government civil servant, although they are corrupt, but we don't have any choice. Who pays the Barrow, President Barrow? Where does he get his money from? His salary is the taxpayers who pay for it. And if you are working, you are a taxpayer. So it is better for us to make to help hold our governments accountable so that the amount of money we pay in tax, they use it judiciously. Okay, put it where it is supposed to be, and reduce all this corruption stuff. Enough of this rant. Enough of this rant. All right, so this is what I pay at the end of this is what I am supposed to be paid. Remember, all these things I'm supposed to feel them myself. Okay. That's why you need your co-workers probably to help you until you understand. Then I come here, I put my name, Mukhtar Jallo, Mukhtar Jallo. Okay, I put here Mukhtar Jallo, and I sign. Okay, I sign probably, and normally it's supposed to be the last day of each month that you sign this thing. Okay, you put the date here. Okay, you put here, let's say 31st of 31st, probably put the forward slash of 07 of 2025. Okay, again. All right, so this is the date that you are submitting the form. Everything is ready now, and the verifier will come. Remember, the verifier is the person who is supposed to write here, verified by who. So the verifier, normally verifiers don't put any color ink here unless red, only red pen. All right, I think I will talk about it in the additional information. And people are superstitious. The verifiers might say, I don't want to put my name in red ink. Let's say Jenaba is the one who is like, Jenaba will be like, hey, don't worry, the genes are coming for me if I put Jenaba Cisse, Jenaba Cisse, verify this, and Jenaba Cisse signs. Okay, Jenaba Cisse signs, yeah, with a red ink. All right. So if you are not comfortable writing your name as a verifier, in red, you can put it in blue and probably sign in red. Okay. If, as a verifier, if you are rectifying or if you are signing, you use red pen. They will know that this is a red pen is done by the verifier, just to create a contrast, a difference between the filler and the verifier. All right. So we've talked about the income side. Now let's talk about additional information. Additional information which regards to the attendance form. Okay, you are required to sign in immediately upon arrival and sign out when closing for work. You know, at Jollof events, many people are fond of waiting 4 or 5 days before filling the attendance form. Okay, and they'll tell, on Monday I came on time, on Tuesdays, like, you should not do that, please. Okay, immediately when you come, before you even greet people, go and sign. Okay, and when you are leaving, before you leave, sign out. Okay, don't wait until like later, or when you come to work, you wait until in the afternoon and go and sign, or when you are closing, you say, let me sign opening time there and sign. You know, you should not do that. You should sign in on time and sign out on time, if for each work day. All right. Your weekend may fall on normal weekdays or during weekdays, weekends or during weekdays. Here, you know, normal weekends are the what? If you look at the calendar, Saturdays, Sundays are the normal weekends, like for calendar weekends, okay? And some of us, especially admin, we are off on Saturdays and Sunday. But that's the dilemma here, because in the event industry, busyness happens during the weekend. People have their events during weekends, so we are very busy during. That's why most of the logistics team, they are off on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So for the logistics team, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are their off days. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and each person, your weekend will be determined probably during your contract. Some people, they might have Wednesdays, but generally Tuesday, Wednesday is for admin, and what everybody will have their own individual weekend depending on the contract. Okay, so your weekend might fall on normal weekends or during the weekdays. If your off day is Tuesdays and Wednesdays, that means that you call your weekend as Tuesday, Wednesday. All right, you are not required to sign in or comment during your weekend as well. Remember, if it's a weekend, don't sign in, don't sign out. Okay, let's assume that 24th and 25th, they are weekend. Don't put they are weekend. Don't come here and say weekend. You did not come because of, I'm still on red pen here. And don't come here and say weekend. Nope, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Strike through. Don't do that. Okay, this is wrong. Oh, sorry, I'm putting the wrong. This is wrong. Okay, don't put there weekend. Just leave it blank like that. Just leave it blank like that. Okay, just leave it blank like that. All right, we move on to number 4. Apart from weekends, you must comment in the comment section. Okay, I should add here public holidays as well. Okay, but you should comment on the public holiday. I forgot. All right. Apart from weekends, you must comment in the comments column your reason for absence, lateness, or early leave. All right. Remember, it's here. Okay. You know, for weekend, you don't come and put here weekend. No, you just leave it like that. Okay. If it's a public, if it's a normal public holiday, and also people like if tomorrow is public holiday, I don't come. I will just have to put their public holiday. I don't need to add their plus one minus one because tomorrow is public holiday and I don't come. So it's normal. Like I just come here and write here public. Let's say if this day, if on the 28th is a public holiday and I took it, I did not come. I will just come here and put there public holiday, public public holiday. No plus one, no minus one. Public holiday, holiday. Here public holiday and just I did not come because it was a public holiday. Boom. All right. But if it's weekend, don't put there anything. Don't comment. No comment. All right. But if it's public holiday and you took it, let's say tomorrow is public holiday, you did not come. All right. It's normal. Like then you don't you just have to comment public holiday and that's why I say here apart from weekends you must comment in the comments column your reason for absence, lateness or early leave. The company reserves the right to decline your leave request on certain days when your presence is highly needed. This we have already talked about that. Like when you request for a leave, the company might say nope. Yep. The attendance form should be arranged by name in alphabetical order. Okay. Remember the attendance form looks like something like this. All right. I don't have it here. It's at the office here. There, but it looks like this. So every name, like if you if your name is Aaron, your name will always be in top, and if your name is Zimba, your names will be last Z. So, like for example, right now, Bouakar Baji starts first because Bouakar Baji starts with BU, and you have Bouakar Jallo. I think Siaka is last, S. So it should be arranged. Remember, when you put it out, when you are bringing it back in, don't just put it on top, unless your name is Aaron or A, or your name is always on top. So you put it on top and clip it. All right. So look at where your name is alphabetically and slide it back there. All right. So that it will be arranged. When you are looking your name, you don't just go. All right. No scratching is allowed. Only use correction pens that is Tipex. All right. So for example, here, like if you were supposed to sign here, then you mistakenly sign here. You don't just come and you just don't come and do this like this, like scratch. Okay. You don't do that. What you actually do is you will take the correction pen, okay, and then do it like this. You see. When you do it like this, then you come again here and then sign. All right. No scratching is allowed. All right. Anywhere, no scratching is allowed. Like you mistakenly put here 300. You mistakenly put here like 300 instead of 200. You just don't come and do this like this, like scratch here and write here 200 here. No. What you actually do is you come, you take the eraser, okay, you take the eraser and you erase it and then you write 200. All right, let's say you write 200. Let me use the blue pen. You write 200. All right, never ever scratch anywhere, never ever scratch anywhere. Okay. Number 8, you are not allowed to use red pen as well. Okay, only the admin, only the verifiers are allowed to use red pen in the attendance form. Okay, no red pen allowed here. Never use red pen to sign in, like doing this, things like this. This should not be happening like this. When you don't have red pen and you start signing here, like using red pen or using red pen to write on the comment section. No employee is allowed to use red pen on their form unless you are verifying. Okay, the red pen will contrast the blue pen. You can use black pen, gray pen, yellow pen, any type of color, but do not use red pen. Red pen is only reserved for the admin, the verifiers. Even the verifiers, if the verifiers have their own form. Okay, remember the verifiers have their own form as well. They are using their own attendance form. Their attendance form, they will use their blue pen. Somebody verifying them will use red pen. All right, I hope this point is clear. So a verifier is someone designated by the CEO who verifies or approves the attendance forms. All right. Adjustments such as additional payments, correction may be done on your form in red ink by the verifier. Exactly. So this is very important to note as well. So this is what I was been telling you. So the verifier will look at your form here. If they find any mistake, any like thing that is not supposed to be done here, like for example, they see here sick and they will put here question mark, like question mark, sick for what? What happened to you? Blah blah. Okay, and they will come here and they say, okay, all right. So Bundung, probably here, for example, you put here like, for example, um, you put here like 800. Okay, and if the verifier notices that this is supposed to be 700, what the verifier will do is the verifier will come and use their red pen and use their um, red pen, and the verifiers will not even scratch you do. They will just write just under where you write your stuff, just beside it they will put their 700. All right, and remember, if the verifier put here 700, that means that they have to also put here, like maybe when you put here 800, you know you are going to put here 800, the verifier is going to change everything, like, so that's why it is very important to know that the verifiers will not be doing a lot of help, like you did not spend, you did not like write the number of the, or you did not put something else that you are supposed to put in your form, or you mistakenly put here, or you did not put your addition and like you left here blank. So remember, this is a self-assessment form. You are supposed to be filling it, not the verifier. Okay, even if you cannot, you can go to your co-workers to help you fill this form. All right, so if you give me a form and it's not complete at the end of the month, if I'm not satisfied with it, I'm going to give it back. I'm going to give it back to you. Okay, I'm going to give it back to you, so you just know that, right? The verifier must write his or her name and signature in the income summary. I've already spoken about this. That is here, verified by example Jenaba Cisse and the signature. Right, like this is Jenaba Cisse verifying my form, my attendance form before making a payment. All right, you shall receive your salary only after properly completing your attendance form. All right, by filling the daily attendance well correctly, overtime correctly, paid time off correctly, and the income summary correctly. There should be very few ratings. I've talked about it. There should be very few ratings in your form. You shall not take your attendance form from home or any other place outside Jollof events. Okay, this is the property of Jollof events. You should not take it home. Even after filling it, if you give it back to Jollof events, that means that you are not going to see it again, because it is what Jollof event is going to use to pay you and for record keeping as well. The attendance forms remain the property of the company after completion. Failure to comply with the instruction above may lead to disciplinary action, including termination of employment. Okay, this is an attendance form. All right, don't just look at it as just this is just attendance form. This is because this is what dictates how you come in, you sign, because you have a contract with the company. Okay, the company pays you and you come and do your work. So this is where you record your work. Okay, this is where you record your attendance. Show up. When you show up, that's why it is called attendance form. Attendance, like about you. So this is a very important document. Okay, you have to comply with it, or you cannot stay at Jollof events. All right. So another thing here, a note, it says that you are advised to take a photo of your form after completion for reference. Okay, after filing the form, making everything, before the verifier verifies this form, you have to snap it. You can snap it for your own record, because this is you are not going to see this again. All right, so you are going to snap it if you want. That's just your option. You snap it and then you move on. Okay, all right, so let's talk about attendance, absence and tardiness. In order to create stability and efficiency at the workplace, we expect you to be punctual and follow your schedule at all times. Okay, if you are going to be absent or late on a certain day or days, you should have a good reason for doing so. Okay, being consistently tardy or absent can cause problems to the company and to your colleagues who may have to cover your work. Okay, this behavior may lead to disciplinary action, including termination of employment. Because look, absence and tardiness is not tolerated at job. It's not even tolerated anywhere. Okay, if everybody is being absent, you know what tardy means. I will explain what tardiness means later, because you have here tardiness. Okay, tardiness. Just to give you a snap, absence. Everybody know what absence is, right? Being absent. Absence means not coming to work. All right, and tardiness means you are coming to work but you are not effective. Either you are coming late or leaving early, or you are here taking breaks, longer breaks, sitting down too much, being a warm body, all this kind of stuff. All right, that is tardiness. All right, tardiness means you have come to work but you are not effective at work. All right. So absence here means the state of being away from work for at least one work day. One work day you are not at work. All right. At job event, we consider two types of absence. We have normal absence and abnormal absence. Okay. Normal absence. This refers to planned absence. It's planned. Okay. Everybody knows that your weekends you are off. All right, it's not like you are going to like nobody sees you on a Sunday and you're weekend and they're like, where's Mukhtar? Hey, Mukhtar doesn't come on Sundays. All right, this is a normal absence. Okay, public holiday. Tomorrow is public holiday. I don't come. It's a normal absence. Okay, tomorrow I take a public holiday leave for tomorrow. It's a normal absence. I have a sick leave. I took it. I use all the notification notices is all normal absence. So normal absence is something granted to you by the company or by law. The law says that everybody deserves weekends, everybody deserves annual leaves, and everybody deserves everything. Okay, so it's normal when you're absent with that absent. And it is planned. Okay, those type of plans, the company knows that you are not coming, so the company will plan for it and also prepare for life without you. Okay, either for a day or for a week or for several days. Okay, apart from weekends or public holidays, all other planned absence require advance notice. Okay, for weekends you don't need to tell the company that I'm going to take my weekend tomorrow. No, it's automatic. You don't come on your weekends. And also on public holiday, you don't tell the company, hey, Barrow says that tomorrow is public holiday, so I'm not going. No, you don't tell. It's the other way around. The company will tell employees who should be coming to work that tomorrow is public holiday, but you are needed here tomorrow, man. Come over. So apart from weekends or public holidays, all other planned absence like sick leave, annual leave, and other leaves require advance notice. All right. So what is abnormal absence? So abnormal absence here in cell means failure to provide timely absence notice to the company. Okay, for whatsoever reason, timely notice. Remember, notice here is very important because here, for example, if no matter what happens, okay, if you do not give notice, okay, apart from weekends and public holidays, like you are sick, okay, you did not come, but also you did not give notice to the company before the opening time. Okay, so that means that it's an abnormal absence. And you know what happens with abnormal absence? Your salary, 3.3% of your salary will be deducted for each day of abnormal absence. All right, and not only that, it's not only that the company is going to deduct your salary and leave you like that. The company is going to take note, and if you have very frequent abnormal absence, you are going to be dismissed straight away. Abnormal absence is like you get dismissed as soon as possible. All right. So the employee is not yet eligible. Sometimes you have abnormal absence because you are not eligible for a particular paid time off. All right. If you are not eligible for annual leave, you cannot have annual leave. Okay. So if you go for several days, you come and you tell us that it's because every employee deserves annual leave every year, but it has to be after 1 year. And or sometimes if you have exhausted all your paid time offs. Okay, for example, if you have been for a year, like you have 14 days of paid time of sick leave. Okay, you can be sick for 14, you can be like have a serious illness, for example, and the company will only cover that for like for 14 days. All right, some people, sometimes you might have an illness that will make you not come to work for um like 1 month, 2 months. Imagine having a broken leg or something like that. Okay, the company can only cover your salary for 14 days. After that, the rest will be an abnormal absence. Except otherwise, sometimes you might have an injury while at work. For that type of injury, like company will have to pay you. I think in the labor laws, all this thing is specified. If you want to have more information about this type of absence, everything is specified over there. Okay, I made the point here. Absence without proper notice at Jollof events is a serious misconduct which entails great disciplinary consequences. All right, being absent, just sometimes people will say, ah, boy, it's just 3.3%, they will deduct it from my salary. But it's not that, man. The company, because imagine like today is a work day, like today is a work day, and I don't see fat. Okay, just like that, we don't see Fatu. Just like that, Fatu didn't show up. Fatu didn't give anybody notice. Okay, all right, we will deduct Fatu's salary, but also we will take great note about that, because like imagine we rely on Fatu for a certain type of activity. So that activity, that means that our whole system will be changing to accommodate that activity. Okay, people will be soldering that activity and all that stuff. So it is very important, to take note about this. So we have tardiness. Okay, tardiness refers to coming to work late, taking longer breaks than you are entitled to, slacking, leaving early without genuine reason. This causes disruption at our workplace. Okay, let me tell you something. Forget about these documents, these employee handbooks and stuff. People look at what other people are doing, especially new employees when they come. Do you think they are going to like look at this employee handbook? You know what they are going to first look at? The behavior of existing employees. How are they behaving? Okay, if they notice that existing employees are coming late, leaving early, like slow, taking longer breaks, slacking, like all this, guess what? They are going to do the same. They are going to do the same. Okay, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So so that's why we do not tolerate anything that is related to tardiness or this absence stuff, because people will always be looking at what their colleagues are doing, and they emulate that. Okay, if Fatu is being tardy without any consequences, Modu is going to say, Fatu is being tardy and there is no consequences about that. All right, and let me also do the same. So it's very important that we will not tolerate tardiness here at Jollof events. Okay, tardiness means being late, being late or leaving early or slacking. Let me tell you what slack is. Slack is unnecessary or longer breaks. All right, longer breaks. It means like lunch break, sometimes prayer breaks that take like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Okay, everybody deserves a break. Okay, we are human beings, we are not machines. Okay, but those types of breaks, like sitting down doing nothing. Okay, and I have talked about it in the Jollof way. There is a whole book dedicated to about our philosophy. Okay, it talks about like the two types of employees. There's a story there. It's you should read that and know about it. Okay, so slacking is like being a warm body. You know what a warm body is? If you have ever seen a dead body, for example, somebody who just died. Okay, somebody who just died is like their body is still warm. You can feel that their body is warm, but it is stiff and like they don't move, like they are dead. It's just a corpse. But since the blood was flowing before they die, so the body is still warm, but it is basically not moving. Okay, that is a warm body. So when you come to work, it's like you have shown up, but you are just, or something like a zombie. They act in a zombie-like way. So frequently engaging in also personal stuff. You are at work, but you are also like having home, like you have issues at home, like you have a home family dispute. You are resolving family dispute, man, or you are at work. You have your own personal other business, and you are running those businesses like got talking to those customers, like, there are a lot of things. Because that means that, you are contracted by the company to work for, let's say, X hours to Y hours. So those entire hours will be spent helping the company. Okay, not only like managing your own personal issues, or you have a heartbreak, your relationship, trying to make it, or like talking with your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend, like the whole day on the phone. Like, no. When you come to Jollof events, you should be strictly trying to help the company. How can I help the company achieve its goal right now? Every move should be focused on that thing. All right. So remember, tardiness, lacking, it means you come to work, but you are not doing your best. Remember, in our core values, do your best. All right. Okay. The following list, although not exhaustive, includes the reason that we do not consider as excuses for tardiness. All right. Like, you come to you work late, and you say, well, today dama bidante, it means I wake up late. Okay, we will not accept that. Stopping on your way to work for personal reason, probably you pass by, a friend is having a naming ceremony, you say, all those things, okay, are considered tardiness. Okay, like late. You see, example saying like, it's traffic, that's why I was late, or it's traffic, that's why I'm going home early, except in extreme situations. Okay, you say bad weather. At Jolly Events, even if in rainy season, we try to provide employees with raincoats, umbrellas, and everything, so that they will not say it's because of it's raining, that's why they are late, or that's why they are absent, or that's why the water hit them, so like they were soaked under the rain, so that's why they are not feeling good, blah 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 blah, uh, not tolerated. Feeling tired, okay, stressed, unhappy, depressed. Okay, if you are feeling tired, okay, it's not our fault, for example, that you don't sleep early. You scrolling, for example, TikTok all night, you did not sleep well, you did, like, we are all adults. Okay, I'm not going to tell you how to manage your life. Or, like, you understand? I'm not going to tell you how to manage your life. It is your life. Okay? You know that you are going to work tomorrow. Why are you like staying up late? Okay? And all this stuff. Okay? Why are you engaging in activities that give you stress? Why are you unhappy? So the company, for example, does not care about all those things. Okay? Because it is your life. Everybody has their life. So the management of your life should be central focus to you. All right. So if you are feeling tired, normally, if you respect your time and everything, you should not be feeling tired, because if you go to work, if you go to bed early, and all this kind of stuff. Okay, enough of this rant. Okay, I'm spending a lot of time on tardiness, because this is one of the, like, places where employees really, really, really mess up in companies everywhere, in organizations. Tardiness.